Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Cameras Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with Lina and Helen with their amazing movie, So Fucking Happy For You. Let's take a look at a clip.
Ta-da! Oh God, drink it. I got a whole case when I signed with 3 R's.
You signed with 3 R's?
Yeah. And now I have to go to this stupid pool party in WeHo. Do I look like I have like a million projects going on right now? Yep.
Listen, thank you so much for your film. I loved it. It was such great writing. It was such great talent. I was like, oh my goodness me. But for those that have had the pleasure of seeing it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
So it's about an aspiring comedian who goes into a jealous funk when her best friend's career starts to blow up, and it almost threatens their friendship.
It really does. It really does. It's quite fantastic. And you did a fantastic job with directing, which we'll go into as well. Where did the inspiration come from, Helen? Because you did the amazing writing.
Oh, thank you so much. It was based on real life.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of stand-up comedy, and so I've gone to a lot of really terrible open mics, and I've never had the experience of going into an open mic and having just like a celebrity drop in.
Yeah.
But right after I moved to LA from New Orleans, one of my friends back in New Orleans was like, called me up and was like, oh my God, I just happened to be doing this open mic, and Louis C.K. just dropped in, and now I'm opening for him tomorrow night. I was like, wait, what?
Oh
like, I'm the one who moved to LA. Why are you? This isn't how this works. This isn't the trajectory that I planned. And so I was really, really fucking happy for her.
Yeah.
But also was like, that should be me.
Well, I'm really fucking happy for her, but I'm so happy you made So Fucking Happy For You. No, honestly, it was brilliant. It's always great when you can bring personal experiences, laugh about it, and put it up there on the screen, and sharing it with the audience as well was great. The writing was so brilliant. I mean, I can tell you do stand up because it really was so fun. There were so many great moments in there. It was really, really good. Must have been a joy for you to direct as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I didn't have a lot of background in stand-up comedy at all. I watch it here and there, but not a whole lot. And so when I, picked up Helen's script and I was like, I really want to direct this, I had to start doing my research. So there was, I think, one night at the very beginning, I was like, Helen, I want to go to a bunch of open mics. And so then we set up like several, and I think we went to 3 different open mics, and it was like an 8-hour long, like we started at 6 p.m. an open mic, and then went until like midnight.
2 a.m.
Yeah,
No,
2
it was like
a.m.
2
Yeah,
a.m.
you're right. And each one has like a 2-drink minimum, so that was fun.
That's great. What a great excuse to go. We're doing real research.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so then it was just like kind of taking in all the energy and the vibe and all these people who were doing stand-up and that whole community. I realized there's such a world in which these aspiring comedians live.
Yeah. And it's tough out there.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's
it
really,
is,
really
and it's different. Like, so there's stand up and then there's improv, and I've done both. And improv is so like we're all in this together. Like you come up as a team, and stand up is very much like I'm on my own, you're on your own. Even though there is like a good community, and in like New Orleans, there's a great community.
Yeah.
And in LA, it was a little bit more like everyone kind of trying to make it.
Yeah.
Like in the stand up scene, but really when it comes down to it, like you're gonna make it together or not. Like if your friend does well, then that's so much better for you.
Yeah.
Because now you know someone who did that, blah, 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 and you can like vicariously live through them.
Yeah.
But so really it's the best for you if your friends do well. But it just doesn't feel that way because it's like, it came so close to me. It was almost me.
I always, no, of course. And I mean, I think you mentioned something really important is that it's always really important to uplift praise of each other and support each other. I think that's really great. And of course, you're still so fucking happy for her. But I mean, honestly, what was so great as well is it's not easy to do comedy, like, on camera, and you had a great cast who were just brilliant. How do you come about them?
Several different ways. I think with Christine Nangle, who played Denise, I was kind of like hibernating, just like working on, pre-production and whatnot, but there was a birthday party and I was like, I haven't seen people in a while, I'll just go out. And I ran into a friend and she's like, what have you been up to? Where have you been? And I was telling her about this and she's like, you have to meet my friend. She writes for Inside Amy Schumer and used to do SNL, but I think she might be really good for this. And so I was like, that's amazing. And so then I ended up meeting her and we started talking, and then that's how I met Christine. And then Scout, who plays Mel, she
She's
came
so
to,
fucking good.
Yeah, she's amazing. They're both amazing. And one of our associate producers, John, he had an old neighbor who I think used to be like the programmer at Hollywood Improv, and he was like I'll connect you with him, and so then he looked at our character breakdowns and sent me like a list of people who he thought might work, and so then I ended up looking all of them up and watching all of their stuff and asked him if I could be connected to a few, and Scout was the best.
Well, I think it's a really important thing to say, because you never know as a performer or working in this city where your influences may come from or lie. It's not always done inside a casting room. Don't sit there and wait for your agent to call you, because you may have influenced someone, or you may have met someone or found someone from a few years ago or something else. And look, I mean, your casting was found in a completely different way, and that happens a lot, which I think is an important thing to share with everybody. Listen, I'm sure there were challenges. Hopefully there wasn't real fights going on between the two characters, because they were so convincing. But what were some of your biggest challenges in making it?
Oh my goodness.
There was a lot of like rewriting that we kept doing as we were going down to it, because there was like so much that we were trying to fit in, and then there was a lot of work that you did with the actors of like bringing in like what were their real life stories and bringing some of that in, and then rewriting to that as well.
Yeah, I think
we had no budget too.
Yeah, it was pretty.
That's always amazing when you've made a film and been selected, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It started out as this like little like thing that we wanted to do, and then it kept like growing and growing, and I was like, oh my god. And you just keep getting good talent attached, and then you're like, well, we have to like really live up to this and make this really great. I think there's obviously production challenges that come up along the way, where can we afford this, can we not, but how are we going to make it work? And
we got kicked out of my apartment.
Favors. Yeah, got kicked out
Have your own apartment.
Out of my own apartment. We made
goodness.
it like, it went from like, you can like feel free to like film whatever you want here, to our landlord being like, if you ever film here again, like you're out.
Yeah, it's the journey of independent filmmaking, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. I think it was a challenge, but it was also a lot of fun. Is as we were developing these characters, we had the script, but then once it was cast, it was discussing, one-on-one with each of the actors, their whole world within this thing, and so just really filling that out and kind of bringing in their personal experiences to make that work, and creating backstories between all of the characters so that it felt really alive and real, and I think that is what you see on screen is their whole history is there, even though none of it's talked about.
Yeah, no, you really, that's great writing and directing, and the essence of what the characters give off, because I certainly felt that watching it, that I felt like I could feel their backstory just in those contexts, you know what I mean, and just kind of feeling how they all interacted towards each other. I love the fact that you made this Twitter, because it's such a unbelievable, these tiny amount of characters can delve into this, in what became a sentiment of the great big sentiment to the story.
That was a challenge. I'm just looking at her knowing, like, trying to figure out like visually what it was going to look like.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right, because it was also at some point, we had a VFX guy, create these things, but then they just weren't working on the screen. Like the design, there was like too many things going on, and it was too distracting. And then the timing of it, and then some of it had to be like, again, like condensed down even more in terms of like what was written in it for it to actually
play.
Play off,
And so it was so
How
much.
big are they going to be?
Yeah.
What's like so big
much
that they're
going back and
not like
forth
covering the
about-
screen, but you can actually read it whether you're on a phone or like.
Totally. And there's actually like a section where there were more tweets coming up, but we like cut them completely out.
Cut them out,
and so it was a lot of playing around with
sure.
the tweets.
So you don't even realize that when you just see it on the screen, how much work has gone into making it actually happen. You know what was so nice about watching your film is I know it's a kind of a cliche thing to say when you're in that world, but like, it's so good to laugh and watch something that you're just so entertained by, and just laughing at yourself as well, laughing at the idea, and and taking a personal experience and putting it out there and sharing it with the world and everything else. What is it like then to have something you wrote and directed and worked hard and tweaked and made it happen? What is it like to have your film set for NewFilmmakers LA, have it in front of an audience, have them reacting to it? What is that feeling like?
Incredible. I mean, I think last night was because we have kind of an internet following on our film, but I had never really watched it with like in that sort of big theater space.
Yeah.
And so it was just really wonderful hearing the audience react in different moments where sometimes you don't expect that will be the thing that gets a big laugh, and where people were like really, like you could even feel that, oh, like in certain moments and whatnot. So it was just really lovely to kind of feel that, you know, where the audience was moved and laughing.
And they were, and we at New Filmmakers, and I'm quoting the title here, are so fucking happy for you, for making this film. It was very, very, very entertaining, and what was so great, this was celebrating Women's Independence Month, where the whole night was an array of female talent, which we showcased throughout the entire year. But you know, one thing we can certainly say is there's, you know, as we build to work towards changing these statistics, there is an array of female talent out there, from comedians to directors to writers to producers, and it was so great to have that celebrated with Women in Film and the Alliance of Female Directors as well last night, wasn't it?
It was an amazing audience. Like, it was a really fun, smart audience, which you don't always get in one place, and to have the whole
because they're
theater.
mostly women, that's why. Put out there.
Just, you know,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
To have a big, huge audience like that really appreciated the film that's why we do it.
No, well, we're very grateful. You are one of those films that's left me wanting more. I wanted more from the characters. I was kind of sad when it ended. So, what is next for those characters and for you both?
Well, so after that, Helen and I went on and we actually co-wrote a half-hour pilot version of it.
Fantastic.
But we kind of rejiggered it and set it in New Orleans, and kind of created a whole new thing with it
Because
too.
it's such a good community
Exactly.
there. I'll say it again. It's such a great stand-up community in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So we would love to do that. We would also we've also kind of been fashioning a digital version of it too, a web series version. So you know, if we can get either the half hour or the digital version off the ground, that would be amazing.
Definitely.
So yeah, so I think it is a hotbed of stories.
Yeah,
these
really
two characters.
is.
So love to be able to continue making content with them.
No, most definitely.
Diving
Most
into their
definitely.
insecurities and
Yes.
their
The
deepest
friendship.
vulnerabilities. The original idea for the script was an exercise that we had to do, where it was think of one of the 7 deadly sins that you've been guilty of, and then go into detail about it. And so it was, of course,
Wow.
envy.
Yes, very true, very true. That's a very great way to approach it. It's really good. Listen, thank you for your talents, Lina and Helen. I so enjoyed it very much. So fucking happy for you both. But no, you really did a fantastic job. I'm so excited to see much more of your journey with this project and other things that you're doing as well. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.